You know what's the biggest failure to democracy? And it exists not because people are dumb, but because our elites want us to be dumb. Is the fact that no one wonders why is it happening here but not elsewhere? And if it's happening here and not elsewhere, and we can figure out why, can't we see how people solve that problem elsewhere? Like, we got experts, we got scientists, allegedly, the government holds the truth, but it can't figure out, is like, okay, why isn't this happening in Poland? Why isn't this happening in Romania? Why is it not happening in poorer nations? Like, why is it that they're not deploying the military in order to collect their garbage? Because you gotta know, like it's probably pretty serious when a nation deploys its military force not to kill people, but to actually pick up bags of garbage. We're talking about 17 tons, okay? 17 tons of garbage. Like, this is not normal. I noticed that since 2016, the word normal has been removed from the English dictionary. Like, everything is relative, This is just our way. I mean, it's not. No. This is not normal. It didn't happen in the past. It shouldn't happen in the future. It doesn't happen in other places on Earth. And so, like, the question has to be, how did it get to this? Now, from my investigation, from what I understand, is that there was a cancerous ideology that created the concept of equity laws. And so some Karens decided to sue the city council, and they won. And because of that, the wages of the garbage people, the sanitation workers, were lowered, and now they're on strike. And so you'd wonder, it's like, okay, fuck the government. Just fuck the government. What about the private sector? I mean, human nature existed before governments. Like, surely people were taking out the trash before the government existed, but this is the beautiful part, right? Because the government doesn't allow you to just take out the trash. No, you need a license, you need bureaucracy, and so you get to rot in mountains of garbage, which are not just like a health issue, but they're also a safety concern. Like, if you have 17,000 tons of trash, like, that's a mountain of trash, right? What if it collapses? You know that saying, if Muhammad doesn't go up the mountain, then the mountain comes to Muhammad? Well, in Britain, I believe it. It's possible, I guess. And so they have, like, all sorts of bureaucracy, like a culture of safetyism. This is the result of it. This is the result of social justice, of all the work from the academics, of all the equity, of all that bullshit, that didn't exist like 20 or 30 years ago. This is the result. This is made manifest. Like, this is a warning to other nations. Of course, like, other nations can have equity, other nations can have social justice, but also not to deal with this shit. Because this is like layer upon layer of bureaucracy misplaced to the point where you get to this. And the problem is, like, it's so easy to fix. It's so easy to fix. Like, first of all you gotta do is to allow the private sector to breathe again. That's all you gotta do. You gotta say, all right, well, shit. We got this problem. We're going to remove the bureaucracy. We're going to give tax cuts to new garbage companies. And I heard British people complain. It's like, oh, you don't understand, like, garbage companies that are private are expensive. Yeah, because of the bureaucracy. But I guarantee to you, if you have like 60 or 70 companies competing at the same time, they'll suck your dick just to let you take your trash. Like they will just do anything they can in order to be able to take it. If the government was just to remove the bureaucracy, remove the safetyism, remove the environmentalism, well, all of a sudden the private sector would take care of this shit. It would just fucking go away. But by the way, I absolutely know that this cannot happen without the consent of the government, because I have seen the pandemic. Like we all saw it, right? During the pandemic, the government closed down businesses, arrested people. Why? Because it was a health concern. Don't tell me that 17,000 tons of trash with rats in them is not a health issue. Of course it's a health issue. Like, literally all they have to do is to enforce the law or to pass some emergency measure, because this is an emergency if you're deploying the military to carry out the garbage bags. And there you go, problem fucking solved. Well, apparently, like the protesters, the sanitation workers, they're protesting, they're forming human chains and shit. It's like, okay, you know what? Go form human chains, like, go protest. Like, first of all, there's no free speech in the UK. Like, let's stop kidding ourselves. Like if they wanted to, they could brand what they're saying some hate speech. Like, they could get some people with swastikas within the sanitation workers protest and pretend they're Nazis so they could cancel them. You know, like, get like an English flag over there, and all of a sudden you have the justification to shut it down. Close their bank accounts. Like, it's the UK, right? It's kind of like China Light. They could do that. They're not. You know, they don't even have to. I'm not even saying that. It's like, okay, allow free speech. You can protest, just don't block the roads. Just don't block the disposal of the garbage. Just don't fuck with the logistics. Go protest. Go, voice your concerns, but don't physically stop people from taking the garbage. Because now, if you do that, well, you're a safety concern. And you should be treated as such. That's why this doesn't happen in Poland. That's why this doesn't happen in Romania. It wouldn't get to this place. To this point. Like the very idea that, like, there's mountains of garbage, people are still sitting in rotten filth, and you have, like, some chuckleheads boycotting and blocking that shit? And they're working for the government? Like, they're not even working for the state? Like, it's from my taxpayer money and they're blocking me from taking the trash? What the fuck do they think they are? That's the normal mindset of Eastern European countries. But meanwhile, you got Britain where, well, we gotta respect them, we gotta treat them with gloves, because they're our voters, they vote Labour, so, like, we can't actually do anything. We're going to deploy the military. The military was also hilarious in its response, saying, well, like, we're going to do what we gotta do, but it's very expensive for the taxpayer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. The military is probably seething, because they signed up to kill people, not take out the trash. But, if the government was to just facilitate the private companies with tax cuts, or maybe, just cut their BBC license. Just cut their BBC license. You take out your trash, you take 6-7 bags of trash, you don't have to pay the BBC license for a month. If they were to actually do that and implement that, I guarantee to you, people would fucking take out their garbage by themselves, in their car. But apparently it's illegal. Like, apparently there's laws that say where and how, and I think you're only allowed 10 times a year and shit. And so it's like, well, this is government's responsibility. Like there is a reason why it's happening in this place and not in other countries. And the funny thing is like, if you get, like, more caras that realize, oh, well, shit, these equity laws, but if they start suing in other cities, like, the same problem will happen. And what I even find funny, it's like, okay, so the sanitation workers don't like their salary. What if they want, like, 6,000 pounds? Like, they just want to demand it. Well, what is the government going to do then? Is it going to deploy the military all the time? Like, is the military going to have the trash division in order to deal with this? Like, you got the Air Force, the Navy, you got the Marines, the Navy SEALs, and then you have the Trash Corps. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.